We can leave it in.
No.
I don't know.
What?
Okay. Start recording. We're recording. Did you know?
We are?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, we're
You didn't tell
recording.
me.
I didn't tell you that we are on the What's Yappanin podcast. I didn't tell you that.
No.
Oh.
This must be new.
Well, that's where we are. That's where I've brought you. So, you know, sit up straight, act your age, do your best.
No such thing. I'm a child at heart. There's no need to act my age.
Correct. Correct, you are. Correct.
I am a child trying to adult in the modern world. There's no shot. I'm cooked.
You're so cooked, my goat's washed. And that's the podcast. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. That's it. It just ends there.
End it. We only have one episode, and it's just called Pilot, and that's it.
The pilot.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Welcome to the What's Happening podcast. This is Savi and James. We are friends from the internet.
The interwebs, indeed.
Yep. I've never met Savi in my life.
I've never met you in my life either. You could be
Yeah.
a complete, like, AI robot alien from space.
But the coolest AI robot alien from space.
Who's also a
that's it.
druid. A druid
Listen.
boy, a small druid boy. I go to meet you and I take a picture of you and you're just like half of my size. You're like midget sized and you have the little horns.
Yeah, I'm just like this like 4'10" midget. That'll be my life. Yep.
And it'll also be
4'10".
canon that your model just is always angry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can turn that off. You might be able to.
I can. I think it is just my glasses, which I guess I can just take off. Cause,
Oh my god.
I think I'm like a super bad like. I guess I'm just expressive, but I guess the model just likes it, reflecting it as being bad. So,
Yeah. You might be
I don't
able
know.
to turn that off though. We can figure that out later.
It's okay.
Okay, so for our first episode, we're going to apply 20 questions for you guys to get to know us. Because most of you won't know us, some of you may. Some of you might know me. I stream every weekend on Twitch, and I play video games and cause chaos. But James is a stranger to everyone, so we're gonna
Yes.
play some 20 questions.
Yeah, and I'm James. I am also a video gamer. I met Savi online via a friend.
Via my
And-
boyfriend.
Yes. This is very true. Which, he's my Pookie Bear, but that's fine. It's whatever.
It's allowed. Listen, my motto in life is that you allow others to do whatever they want. And so, if...
Don't say that.
Listen, the world is chaos, anarchy will win. Anyway, alright, let's do this shit. So,
Yeah.
let's see. What's a good question we could ask? Ooh, if you had to make a house out of food, what kind of food would it be? So I'm assuming this is like a favorite food type deal.
Ooh. See, but I have a favorite food. But if it was like up to me to build a house, make like out of food, waffles.
Waffles?
Waffles. Them
Okay.
shits is so like infrastructurally sound. Like,
Now, what
You
type
could-
of waffle? Because there are types.
what do you mean type of waffle?
There's
it's a waffle.
There's Belgian waffles. There's like the kind you make at home. There's frozen waffles. What kind? There are kinds. You gotta tell me.
I guess just like regular waffles, hotel waffles. How about that?
Hotel waffles.
that
Like
you
the
make.
fucking ones in the machine or whatever.
Yeah, the ones that you like go to, you like stay at a hotel and like it's like insane breakfast hours. It's like 6 to like 7. Barely get enough time to even make anything.
Yeah.
But they always have that one waffle machine, and it's like always giga busy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down for that. What
Yeah.
food I would use? See, I'm not thinking of like structurally sound. I'm just thinking of like my favorite food, which if I'm thinking about it, my favorite food is ramen, but that probably wouldn't work. But if it was like bowls of ramen, it might could work because bowls are made out of ceramic most of the time. At least the traditional ramen bowls. So that might work.
See, but the bowl isn't the food.
Okay, but yeah, you have a point. I don't know. My favorite
Yeah.
food's ramen. If I could live in a house full of ramen, I would.
Eat the house.
Yeah. I linked the thing in our Discord so that you can look and ask questions. It's your turn.
It's my turn.
Your turn.
Let's see here.
You can also just like Google your own if you want.
Let me see. What's a common saying that you don't understand or that you think is odd?
A common saying that I don't understand or I think is odd? Damn, that's a good one.
That one's a thinker, though.
That one is a think thonker, indeed. I don't know, because...
Let me pick a different question, because that was just bad. You just pick an office question.
Where was that one at? In school?
Yeah, it was just in... No, it was in school.
Sports teams for the office.
Oh, how about this? If you can interview a celebrity and ask them, we'll just say questions, what would you ask them? Or I guess we could start with who would you ask? Like, who would you interview?
Who would I interview? Oh, God. I would probably interview, like, one of my favorite video game actors or something like that. Like, Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16. I would probably interview him. Because he does an amazing job of acting Clive from that game, the main character that you play as. What would I ask him?
Didn't he get nominated for like voice actor?
Yes, he did at the Game Awards, and he didn't win it because he went up against everybody's favorite classic vampire horny man, Asterion Neil, I think that's his name.
Yeah, but like, come on, it's Asterion.
You can't compete with that. Exactly my point. You can't compete with that. Like
come on.
It was a losing game out the gate.
Me as a straight male would definitely.
Me as a straight male.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely, we would be straight around Asterion.
Yeah, like you can't compete with that.
No, but no, yeah, the voice actor for Asterion did a really good job. But continue. What would you ask Ben?
I would probably ask him what his favorite video game is, and if he doesn't have a favorite video game, or if he doesn't play video games, I would probably ask him what his favorite TV show is.
That's a good one. That kind of reminds me, did you ever watch the Last of Us show?
Yes. Nathan and I watched it.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal, like, he tried playing the game, but just, like, didn't. Like,
yeah.
He, like...
I think they both did. Him and, whatever the girl's name is. I don't know her actor. I don't know her real government name.
Her legal government name. Yeah. But I think that's pretty common, though. That, like, just people don't... At least some voice actors just don't play video games.
Yeah. Some of them do, though. I mean, Asterion be streaming... Or he was streaming Baldur's Gate when it came out.
True. I did see that. Yeah, and then the chat would, like, send him voice lines to say.
Yeah.
And that was always funny. So.
Yeah, he made a lot of money doing that. Because people would give bits and stuff to get him to say those voice lines. So.
I'm always curious on like what it takes to like be a voice actor.
Yeah, me too. I've always
'Cause I'm like,
thought it would be
just
fun.
just spit into the mic.
Just
Yep.
or like
Right into the mic.
or like just like a lot of like background noises, like the classic like woman screaming, or like, you know, sometimes I play video games and like there's just a random like either an NPC or like a background noise, and I'm like, how much did that person get paid to just make that noise?
It has to be like licensing, I'd have to imagine. Because like there's just like voice clips that just get used
Yeah.
so much. Like the classic like, oh my leg, or like the
Yeah.
classic like Tom and Jerry scream where it's like, ah!
Yeah, just like they use the same ones over and over.
Yeah.
All right, what's yours? You said Pedro Pascal. What did you say you were gonna ask him?
No, it wouldn't be Pedro.
Oh, okay.
Celebrity?
Yeah.
Man, not too much up on celebrities.
Me neither. That's why I
I
picked
think-
something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I think, well, I know a lot of celebrities, but I feel like a lot of the celebrities nowadays are like hella corny. And so
Correct.
It's like, even if I get the
Cringe.
chance to talk to them, I'm gonna be cringing more at the fact there's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna run up to like Drake and be like, yo,
Yo, how long?
how many inches, bro?
How many we
No.
talking?
Like,
How
is it
many we
forearm
talking?
length? Yeah, like, I don't know. I'd be sort of in awe of the fact that I'd be in front of them, but like, at the same time, I just feel like some of them are like so corny outside of like what they do. I guess because I'm like interested in like Formula One, I'd probably meet a Formula One driver. So
Boom boom cargo fest.
yeah. So if I had the chance, I'd probably, I guess the celebrity I would want to meet is like Lewis Hamilton or like Carlos Sainz, but those are race car drivers.
What would you ask the cargo broom broom guys? I'm sorry.
the $20 million guys going in a circle.
Yeah, correct.
I would ask them. What would I ask them? Outside of their career, what their dream is. Like, past Formula One, what are you gonna do with the rest of your life?
Yeah, like, are you gonna buy an island and like travel and live on an island for forever? Yeah, like that type deal.
Yeah, it's like, okay, your peak of athleticism is over, I guess. What are you gonna do with your millions that you racked up? Or like, what is your next big dream?
Yeah.
Because who knows? They might just like be professional Excel spreadsheet people. I don't know. They have tournaments for that. I know that much.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we can go to more simpler things for my question is let's see. Mine is, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Man, it really depends.
It don't
depends on
depend
the
for
time
me.
It depends on the time of year. What since your answer is a little more cleaner, what are you?
Mine's night owl all the way. I freaking
Night
hate
owl.
existing in the mornings. Like,
Just doesn't exist.
I am not a functioning human being until I have had a solid cup of coffee or something with caffeine in it. And it's past, like, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Like, Yeah. And my body is just so against me on that. I don't know why. Like, I'm always awake early in the morning. I say early. It's more like 8 or 9. Like, I'm awake. But, like, if it's the weekend, I'm still in bed until, like, 10, 11. Like, I'm not a functioning human being until past 10 o'clock, I would say.
That's fair.
And I hate it.
I'm just, like, imagining you in your, like, 30s or, like, 40s. It's just, like, holding a cup of Joe with the cup saying, "Don't talk to me after I've had my morning coffee."
Literally. Can you get me that cup for my birthday? I will have it right now. I don't have to be 30 or 40.
I'm surprised you don't have it now.
I will fucking... the coffee mugs that I have right now is... I have one with a Moogle on it, like, from Final Fantasy. I have a cat one. And then I have, like, just, like, random patterned ones. But yeah, I want more coffee mugs, but Nathan doesn't like to let me get more because we don't have a lot of room in our cupboard. And so then I showed him that you could get like a coffee mug rack off of Amazon, and I'm like, we could just use that instead, like hang it up, and I could just keep my mugs there, and then we would have more room in the cupboard for adventures, you know?
Yes, the mug extravaganza. No, yeah, I think I only have a couple of mugs, but I think the one that just like stands out the most is just this, like, I think it's a corgi. It's shying Shiba Inu or corgi.
They do look very similar, so sometimes it's hard to tell, like, if it's like a cartoon version of it or something.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like where it's like hard to tell, but it's one of those two, and it's like a mug of that, and so it's really cool. Oh,
what
just happened? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, my monitor just like turned off for some reason. I don't know. We're still here.
Were your drivers updating?
No clue. I don't have automatic updates on my drivers, but I don't know. I'm just like turned off for a second, but we're still here.
Anyway, so are you a morning person or a night owl, James?
It depends on the calendar year. I think during the summer I'm more of a morning person. But
such a lame answer. Yes or no, bro?
What do you mean?
It's a yes or no question.
Okay, if I had to choose out of both, definitely a night owl. Mainly because that's just what I spend.
I feel like it's just doing. It's answered for us. We play video games every day.
True. This is true. I do remember being like in high school and like getting close to like 4 hours of sleep, like in my senior year, and it was because I was just like gaming till like 2 in the morning, waking up at like 6 to catch the bus.
Yeah.
And then I'd like fall asleep on the bus, and that'd be like 30 minutes, so I'd get like 4.5 hours plus whatever
literally
I drink at the time.
Yeah, literally.
So.
Whoa, it just got really dark outside. Scary. Okay, your turn. I kind of like Googled a different website because I didn't like those questions really. The more I read them, the more it's like, these are weird.
Yeah.
So, you can do whatever you want.
I guess we could simply just, like, put this out here. What is something, like, why... What is one of the reasons that you've wanted to start a podcast?
Oh my god. That's a horrible question, because I don't have an answer.
You don't have an answer? You just wanted to start one?
No, I guess I do kind of have an answer. I don't know. I like talking to people. And every time that, like, I've hung out with people, they've always said, like, you know, you guys should, like, you know, do YouTube or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's always just been, like, a thing where I just can yap, literally. Just be a yapper and just talk about the most randomest shit, and sometimes it's funny. That's kind of why I also started Twitch streaming, because, I mean, I play video games all the time, and I don't know, I think I'm kind of funny, so I just started doing it. And I'm an affiliate, and, you know, and people like to watch me, so, you know, it's working somehow.
Yeah.
And so my friends and I, my closest friend group that we call the brain cell is me and 2 other girls. We just all are the same people and we literally share a brain cell. And so we thought it would be funny to get us into a podcast, but scheduling and life and being an adult has caused it to not work out so well. But I hope one day I can also have a podcast with them.
Yeah. And I mean, even if that doesn't really pan out, they could always like join in on this and join in on this podcast. So
we are gonna have guests at some point.
Yeah.
So
I definitely would
I don't know
like
how
to
we're
have
gonna
some
do
guests.
that with VTubing, but maybe we can like throw their webcam or whatever they have on the
Just
TV
put them
screen.
on display on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw them on the screen.
Zoom
like,
style. We'll go back to
yeah,
COVID
like-
days.
No, not COVID. This is what COVID should have been, just a bunch of VTubers.
Bro,
Just,
yeah.
Like, this is what we all should have done instead of just like being awkward as fuck in like square muted circles.
You want to know what's really
Squares.
funny?
What?
Microsoft Teams, they have avatars now. You can like make an avatar and use it instead of your webcam.
I did see
It's
that.
crazy. One time I went to a meeting one day. This was like a couple months ago. And our like kind of like class clown, he's our senior manager of our data department, and he he comes into the meeting and he has that avatar turned on, and we're like, whoa, what the hell? Like, since when can you have avatars? This shit was crazy. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe one day corporate America will just use Microsoft Teams avatars.
I think it's in the near future. Not my current job, but my last job, like one of it was a smaller team, but one of like our chief officers, he towards like the end of meetings or like would accidentally bump the avatar thing on, and like he'd be a cat. Or, like, there was one where he was like a straight up like pterodactyl, I think.
That's
It was
so
just
funny.
funny, yeah. But yeah, the world needs to be open to avatars, just in group meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think my answer to that is like, I like to yap, and then if I find some people that also like to do that, then I will do a podcast with them. Hence why we're here. James and I go crazy sometimes. It's actually a problem.
Yeah, call me professional yapper.
Yeah, we are the professionals at yapping.
Yeah, well, I think it's always nice to just have a good conversation with people.
And then also say the most random shit ever.
Just absolute brain rot.
Literally, we're the embodiment of brain rot.
Oh, it's so funny because like my current coworkers, they're like close to my age. I think the last job I had, there's only like
You usually have a lot of boomers and not a lot of Gen Zers.
No, at my last job I had a couple of people who were in my like age range, but like most of them were like, I'm gonna say like, I totally guessing, I don't want to offend anybody, but like they were in their like mid-30s or like 40s, like approaching their 40s. But there's a couple that were like Gen Zers. But at my current job, like it's just like all like mostly the demographic of just like Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like early millennial.
Yeah.
And that's like super like interesting to see. And so it's super funny
Yeah.
to interact with my new coworkers, especially since they're like
Like
in
the
same
people that are,
age range.
it's like, this is my people.
Yeah. up. Give me a second. So it's our new fruit bowl.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah, it's our fruit bowl, and
That's so cute.
it's just a flamingo, and the body is
A
is
flamingo.
where the fruit goes. Yeah.
So cute. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, why do you want to do a podcast, James? What's your reasoning?
Man. Well, so I I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while. I had this really cool idea when I first like started thinking about it, and it was like, what if you could do like a minute podcast on like TikTok, and it was like intro, couple seconds, and then just random shit, or like a culmination of a bunch of information thrown at you in like a minute, and then that would be it, and it would be like
podcast speedrun?
Yeah, kind of like that. And I was like, it'd be perfect. Like it's long enough for like a TikTok, or long enough for that. But as like time went on, I kind of like I never really got the ground running with that one.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, TikTok seems like oversaturated at this point.
TikTok is TikTok, and that's all we have to say.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely oversaturated. I found myself using it less, but yeah. But the other reason was mainly because I kind of wanted to just like keep like a sort of like journal. I guess I kind of wanted to like use it as more of like a journal session as opposed to like talking
Yeah.
about random stuff. Because I was like really big into journaling for a good chunk of last year.
Kind of like a blog, but like audio.
Yeah, kind of just like what kind of like talking about like what my week looked like, how I was doing. It genuinely was just like a thing of like making a podcast that was just audio. It was gonna be like a blank logo and just like me spewing my thoughts and shit for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was mainly just gonna be like a journaling thing. But over the years, or just like over time, I've just been wanting to make a podcast where I can just like talk about random stuff, watch funny videos.
Yeah, like react to things too. I think we should do that too also at some point, but
Yeah, we'll definitely have to throw some things in there, and then definitely get some things in the Discord. And if people do start listening, then they can definitely throw things in there as well and give us things to react to, hopefully.
yeah. That would be good. Alright, next question. And I think maybe we can do this as the last question, perhaps, and then we can maybe pivot into some of the things that we threw in our Discord, perchance, perhaps.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, where did it go? See, some of these is like, do you have any pets? And I do, but you don't, so it's like...
I want pets.
Yeah, you guys don't have an animal-friendly place though, right?
I don't think so, but there's currently an animal living in my room, or at least somewhere.
What?
That's what the mouse incident is.
Oh man, we've got to talk about the mouse incident.
Yeah, so I guess we could just go, like, we could pivot into that.
Yeah.
It's a good pivot point. So yeah, I think it was Wednesday, I'm getting ready for bed, and I go to brush my teeth, and in my bathroom, I'm like on my phone, and I look down, and I see something like scurry across the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I just see like a little like furry creature in like the tail, and then it just like jumps into the cabinet. And so like I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute, is that a mouse? And I'm like, is he in the cabinet right now? And so I text my roommate Jason. I'm like, hey, are you awake? And then I looked, and he jumped into the space that's in between the wall and the cabinet. So he's not in the cabinet. And so I was like, fuck. And so I plug the holes underneath the cabinet so that like there's no way for him to get out. And then I went to go get mouse traps. And so the following morning, I was getting ready for a run, and I'm looking through my things, or in my drawer. There's no mouse, thankfully, but I'm looking through my drawers, and I notice that like my running nutrition, like my running goo and gel, torn into. Like it's like two of them.
Homie
like,
had a snack.
Into... Yeah, he had a snack. He had a midnight snack. He crawled into my drawer, ate two of my goos, not all the way, but like he ate two of my goos, and then just like shit and pissed all over my drawer.
He ate two of my goos.
He did.
That's such a funny sentence. He ate my goo. That's what she said. Wait. Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, like I just like saw evidence. Bro took my shit. Took a shit.
You have the evidence. Now you can prosecute him in a court of law.
And so
this man, Your Honor, this man, he ate my goo. Your Honor.
I don't think you understand, Judge. Mickey Mouse ate my goo.
Mickey Mouse ate my goo, and you know what? That's a crime.
Certified goober.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's hilarious. So that's your pet. My pets, I have two cats. Three, almost, God, she's almost 3. A 3-year-old, Siamese, orange, flame point, whatever you want to call it, cat. Her name is Aerith, after my favorite character from Final Fantasy VII. Yes, I am that cringe. And then my boyfriend has a cat. She's a tortoiseshell, and her name is Poppy. She just turned 1 in May. So, we got 2 little babies. We'll throw them up on the screen here. But yeah, they're cute.
Nathan didn't name Poppy after
No.
League Poppy.
No, he did not.
Okay.
No, he did not, but that's what a lot of the nerds thought, is they're like, Poppy from League of Legends? And he was like, no, like Poppy, like poppy seed, because she was literally like mostly black when she was little, and she's also tiny.
So she's not black anymore, is she?
She has more orange in her now. More brown and orange.
Teams, huh?
Yeah, correct. Oh my god, it was so funny yesterday. We were sitting at the table eating dinner, and she's like across the room sitting on the cat tree, right? She's just like chilling, sitting, and then all of a sudden she like does like the orange cat thing and like airplanes and goes meow, and and she looked at the ceiling, and I was like, did the brain cell go by? Because she has some orange, right? And the thing about orange cats is they all share a brain cell. And it goes into space, and it just like travels between all of the orange cats that exist on the planet. And so I asked her if the brain cell passed over here. It was like, did you miss the brain cell? And then she immediately went into bathing herself after that. Like, she just went, meh, and then started bathing herself. I was like, oh, she missed it. She didn't catch it.
Anytime I think of an orange cat, I always think of this video. Let me throw it into the chat. But I always think of this video, and it's the fucking cat.
Oh.
Like, you're scaring me, and then he does this like
Stop.
stupid fucking face.
He's airplaning. That's what cat owners call them, like flattening their ears. It's called airplaning. Oh my god.
Really?
Homie's so angry. Look at his fucking ass.
You're scaring me.
Why are you so mad?
I said
We're done.
stop being
We're
wretched.
done.
That's
so-
hilarious. Yeah. Aerith, she's orange, but she's also Siamese. So she kind of has like best of both worlds. Like she's super clingy. She cracks out a lot of the time, but she's also just like vibing, like just chilling straight up. She doesn't care most of the time. But yeah, so she's like half orange cat is what I like to call it. And she occasionally gets the brain cell. She gets the brain cell more than Poppy, which is funny. But yeah.
Which is it, Poppy or Aerith? That has like part Maine Coon.
That's Poppy. Yeah, so it's funny because she is now larger than Aerith. She's only 1 though, and Aerith is 3. But yeah, so I can throw up some pictures of her, but it's funny because she just is long. She didn't get like long hair or anything like that, or like the long ears, or you know, like the more distinct Maine Coon, because I think her father was only like half Maine Coon, so she only got a little bit. But boy, did she get the long trait. Like she doesn't gain weight like normal. She just gets longer the more she eats. It's so strange. But yeah, so she's our long child.
Yeah, I always like I've seen a couple of photos of them, and like these cats get huge.
Yeah, she's not like that big, but she is definitely like she's taller than Aerith and she's longer than Aerith by just a little bit. But yeah,
I see.
she's a crackhead.
Yeah, you should ship me one of them cats to deal with my mouse problem.
I think Poppy would probably be efficient, but Aerith would probably not. Poppy likes to chase bugs, and Aerith just kind of... Aerith likes birds. That's about it. She loves to sit and watch the birds. She goes... You know, like the cat thing that they do. But yeah. I don't know if she would chase mice. Poppy would though, 100%. I know for a fact that she would, because she kind of goes crazy over everything. But Aerith is very picky, so Aerith only really likes certain toys. She likes little fur, like fuzzy balls, or like they make, you know, like the Chinese finger trap toy.
Yeah.
They make those kind of things, but like it's just like a plastic cat toy. She loves those. But like most other things she will not play with. But Poppy plays with everything, so I feel like Poppy would be efficient. But no, you can't have my cats. Sorry. No, you can't have my children.
I definitely do want to get like a cat at some point, or well, I definitely want to get a cat, and then I do want to get a dog. But I think I definitely would want to get them at the same time, so that they kind of like grow up together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like introducing a cat or introducing a dog later in another animal's life is a little hard.
Yeah.
Because they could just like not be like super receptive to one another.
You never know though. Most of the time it works out, but there are certain instances where they end up not driving with each other and can just be a pain for each other. But yeah.
Yeah.
I condone the purchasing of animals. Or not purchasing, adopting, but same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vice versa.
So, James has a story for us.
What is this?
For all of you Swifties out there, which let me give context because I'm not a Swiftie. I did listen to only like half of the new Tortured Poets album. I haven't listened to anything else really other than like, you know, her old music, like her old country music, because I grew up in the South and that's like that was the culture back in 2010. So, or not even 2010, it was earlier than that, right? I don't know. I was like in middle school, high school.
I don't know.
But yeah, so James has a story for us apparently on his take on Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I do have a story. Well, I have a couple of different stories. But let me pull it up because I have the tier list.
Yeah, so you have a tier list of is it her albums or like songs or?
Yes, it is her albums.
Okay.
Let me find it really quick, but as I'm finding it, I can go and give my spiel. Yes, so for a good chunk of time, I had very bad connotation to Taylor Swift for various reasons. And one day I was like, well, I should probably develop Taylor Swift opinions of my own. And so that I did. So I listened to all of her discography on my own time, mainly during my run sessions, and I would just like put on an album.
Discography, is that an actual term that people use?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Discography, it's like the collection of all of their music and all of their work.
I see.
Yeah. And so I took it upon myself to actually like listen to her music, and my take, she is a okay good artist.
Okay, good artist.
Is she worth the millions of dollars, the like billions at this point because of her new fucking tour?
Yeah.
Is she worth the billions of dollars that she accrued? No, not even close. This like Taylor Swift,
and she does it for the money too.
Yes,
you know that
yes,
she does it for the money too. Like, there's no way.
Yes, and she uses her private jet like none other. Like, you cannot tell me that she uses her private jet sparingly.
Yeah.
She uses this bitch. But the thing is like, she is not worth the billions of dollars that has been funneled into her by any means.
Yeah.
And so she's an okay to good artist, I would say.
Is it okay hyphen good, or is it like okay comma good?
I would say like, if we were to rate her as an artist, I would put her at like a 6 or a 7. Like, she's okay goodish.
Okay.
Like / goodish. That is my take. And so you could throw it up on the screen. But that's my tier list that I made. And
okay, so 1989 I've heard a lot about. Lover,
yes.
Not so much. And then obviously there's her Speak Now album that is like the classic like country that she did way back when, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, well, her debut album and Fearless are like the quote unquote country albums.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Speak Now was kind of like more into like what Taylor Swift is now, or like kind of like peering into the early mid 2010s Taylor Swift.
Okay, and which one is Tortured Poets? Is it the Trees?
No, Tortured Poets is not on this list because I made this before the Tortured Poets album came out.
Okay, so you will reveal where you will be putting that on the tier list.
Yes.
Then.
Yes. I will be putting. Well, I could go down the list. So
yeah,
S tier
let's go.
S tier is 1989. I think it's her best album by far, top down, like top to bottom. Great album, solid bangers in there. Lovers is also really good. I was really mixed between Lovers and Folklore, but I just like the sound of Lovers more. Folklore is coming in at first in A tier. Reputation actually caught me by surprise. Was like kind of like different from the rest of her albums, but I think that's what I liked about it. And then Evermore was kind of like Evermore and Folklore were kind of just like that folky indie sound that I really like. Evermore was just like less than Folklore in my opinion,
Yeah.
but you know. And then Speak Now and B tier, because I just think that it has good songs. Too long.
Too long of an album?
Too long.
I mean, Tortured Poets is pretty long too, right?
Let me get there. Let me get there. Speak Now was long. And a friend of mine suggested that it's probably best to listen to it in chunks, which is fair. I think it is better to listen to in chunks, but I think that if you have an album that is like an hour and a half, I think you should probably stop there. Like, it's getting long.
Yeah.
And then Red, I think it has solid songs. It has like some good bangers, but suffers the same issue, but worse. Like, it suffers the same issue as Speak Now, but worse. It's long, and it's just like not filled with a lot of good songs, in my opinion. And it sounds like super redundant.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I have Midnights in Sea last year. I think this is, at the time of making this tier list, her worst album.
So there's nothing in F tier though, right? So
No.
That can't be that bad.
No, I think that like this is the thing. Like
This is what makes her okay good, is there's nothing in F tier.
Yeah, like the albums are bearable. The albums are like, they're not too bad. Like even Midnight's even being her worst album. Like I say that by putting it in C tier.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm like, because some people would say like, oh, F tier because it's like musically her worst album and whatever, but it's like, if it comes on, I'm not gonna like skip it, or like if a couple of songs come on and they're good songs, I'm not gonna skip it.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're listenable songs. I just say that like, in terms of like the album holistically, it's her weakest, and I think her like not that great produced. Don't like her vocals in this album. Didn't like the lyrical content. A lot of it is just like, oh man.
Yeah.
The Swifties are gonna get after me.
You are driving a hard bargain here. You are you might end up being canceled at some point, but it's okay.
Listen.
I'll protect you.
Listen. Swifties can literally weaponize themselves and cancel anybody on the face of the earth, and they'll cancel anybody but people who matter.
Literally. Preach. Amen.
And so, I just think that while yes, Taylor definitely has had some bad experiences in life, and I empathize with anybody going through hard times and being taken advantage of by somebody like such as like her music producers, ex-boyfriends, and stuff like that. Totally understand that. But it's like, that is the whole thematic of it.
Yeah.
And it just comes off as just like, you're bitching.
You do be bitching.
This is where I get into Tortured to Poets. This shit, first of all, way too long.
Yeah, like
this way too long.
Not only is like because she released two different, like it has a sequel, like I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's like the anthology.
Yeah, that. Like, not only did she make the base album, but she also was like, yeah, let's like throw another album in there too, like just for shits and giggles. It's like, girl, you need to chill, because like people nowadays ain't got the time for that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like throwing a 2-hour album into Gen Z TikToker brain who can't even focus on a 30-second video without Minecraft gameplay or Subway Surfers on the bottom of it. Like, come on.
Like, actually, though. And no, because, I don't know, at least in my opinion, like, a lot of like music collections that do well, most of the time, like, the ones that get most traction are like EPs or like, you know, things that are meant to be smaller, and therefore you will focus more on that rather than just trying to shit out songs so that you can fill like a 3-hour long album. Like, I don't know, it's just too much.
Yes. And my main gripe with the new album isn't the fact that it's too long. It's the theme. It's the same shit. I was kind of excited to listen to some new Taylor, especially after her latest album. And I put it on, and then I was like, this is the last album. This is part 2. And I'm like, and this shit is 2 hours long. And I'm like, hell no. And so I did listen to it all. I will say that I think that the second half of the album is a lot better, but I don't think that you need to be an hour in to a album for it to get good. That is like, come on, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me I have to listen to an hour of...
At that point, people aren't even listening to the full album, they're just skipping to the good parts, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's fine, like, that's the beauty of, like, being able to stream music and stuff like that. Like, you can literally listen to whatever parts of whatever the hell you want. But, like, it's also, like, why would the artist even make that part of the album if, you know, I don't know. I feel like most celebrity artists or, like, people that are as big as Taylor should know, at least to a certain extent, like, what their fan base is going to enjoy and what they're not going to enjoy, or, like, in her case, like, what's gonna make her the most money. And it's like, if you throw out an album with that much content, like, wouldn't you want to make the most money out of it all? Because you can stream all of the songs individually and you get revenue from them individually, as long also the album as a collective. So it's like, I don't know, it's just like, if people are gonna be skipping to the good parts, it's like you're losing that money, and you probably knew that they would be skipping. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, there's no need for it. Like, there's a section of the album that's just like, okay, cool, like, you've already
okay, cool,
talked
we're
about
here.
this. Like, you've already done this. And it's like, one thing that I do appreciate that Taylor does is that, like, each album is different. But going from Midnights to Tortured Poets, I was like, this is the same shit.
Okay, so Midnights is the most recent one, which is the lowest one on your category, on your tier list.
Yeah. Like, it does have good songs. Like, there are good songs on Midnights. But the rest of the album, like, top to bottom, you get this urge of, like, I have to change this. I'm like,
yeah.
I want to change this because this is making me feel, like, bad.
Yeah.
And it's, like, the same thing with Tortured Poets, and even worse. Because it's, like, there's heavier lyrical content. Again, like, I'm sorry that she went through a bunch of shit. But you already covered this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think the best way that I described it was like, I swear to God, her therapist was with her at the recording studio, holding a gun to her head, and telling her, I need you to vent into the mic.
Just spit it all out. Throw it all out right now.
Yeah, like, I need you to vent into the mic, and it's an album.
There you go.
So I was just like super, super disappointed which it ended up getting me blocked by a Swiftie, which is really
Oh no. Alright, what happened with this Swiftie that you had an encounter with?
Yeah. So, I guess after this, after Tortured Poet, however you say it, whatever.
Tortured
Tortured
Poets
my
Department.
Ear poets.
Tort in my ear.
Tort in my ear. I'm placing this album. I'd place
Yeah,
it
where's it
like,
going?
like E. I'd put it in E.
Oh,
I'd make
it's
it E.
worse than Midnight's?
It's worse. It's
Yeah.
just worse. Like the fact that it's long, it's the same, it feels the same, it sounds the same, and it takes so long to get to like a decent song. It's just like I'm not going to listen to this. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, oh, a Tortured Poets song came on, or new Taylor song from the new album came on. Like no, it's like it just like wasn't. It genuinely was not worth my time listening to because it just felt redundant.
Yeah, I remember when it came out and I listened to Fortnite, which is like I had to listen to that because, you know, it's I play video games. Yeah, like I wasn't not listening to that song. Like you can't just tell me Taylor dropped a song and she named it Fortnite and we're not going to listen to that as gamers. Like, okay. And I feel like Post Malone saved her in that song. Like, it's not bad. But I also don't know what all the other, like, albums sound like and stuff like that, so I don't have that kind of opinion, but as a person who never, ever, ever listens to Taylor Swift, I thought it was a pretty good song, but I feel like if it wasn't with Post Malone, it probably wouldn't have gotten a lot of traction. I love Posty.
I think it would have probably gotten equal traction. It just like, or similar traction, but Post Malone definitely added to it. I think my biggest qualm with that song is the fact that just Post Malone didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, he wasn't involved in a lot, but
like he didn't really have. He was kind of just like backup vocals.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Posty is. I love some Posty. Love me some Post. I will say though, it's time for my controversial hot take on Post Malone. Is that if he becomes a country star artist, I will stop listening to him.
What? Wait, why?
I fucking hate country music. And this is funny because I grew up in the South. But that also is probably why. Because I grew up around it and, like, modern country music, I just can't do it. Like, if you give me some old stuff like Johnny Cash and all that, like, it's tolerable. But, like, modern country music, I will not. You will not see me allowing that to enter my ear canal. Like, no. I can't. Like, Young Gravy is doing it, and I'm so upset about that because Young Gravy's music just gets me going. It's like, you know, it's like, Look, okay, Young Gravy and BB No Money, like,
Alright, BB No Money does go hard.
Okay, but they have very similar-ish. Like, Young Gravy is just kind of like, Horny on Main, and then BB No Money is like, I'm just here to make literally, I'm just here, like, BB No Money is the musical version of Yap. Like, he just be yapping, and then he turns it into music. Like, I fuck with that so hard.
No, yeah, that's fair. No, I think BB No Money does make some good music.
Yeah, but Post Malone, he's starting to do more country, and Young Gravy just, like, released his country album, like, canonically, like, country, or not canonically, but quite the opposite, like, of what he usually makes. And I'm just not here for it. Like, can we not...
That reminds me, did you, you know Oliver Tree, right?
Oh, I love me some Oliver Tree.
Yeah, did you listen to his, like,
Oh, I love his new album. The newest one?
His new album is great. It's so good. But, like, his second album, like, his quote-unquote country album,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't listen to that one. There are some bangers though. Let's sidestep a little bit. There are some bangers on that album, but no, I didn't listen to the whole album really. I mean, yeah, like the whole country thing kind of deteriorated, whatever that word is.
Deteriorated.
No, like
Detoured.
deterred me away from it or whatever. I don't know. Words, not my forte. I studied rocks. But yeah. I don't know. I just can't get with the modern country, like, that these artists that have a specific thing that they've done for so long. Like, I can understand wanting to do things different, but can we just not pick country? Like, one of my friends that I've known since kindergarten, like, her take on it was, like, Post Malone would go so hard as a metal artist. Like, I don't know if you share the same opinion, but I agree with that. Like, if we throw, like, Post Malone into some modern metal, like, yo, I would literally buy every single, like, record, CD, album, whatever.
Everything.
Literally everything.
Oh,
Hi, hello, I love metal music.
I don't know. I haven't had that take. I guess it's like, I think there's like some artists that have like, they try and hit different musical like themes or like genres album to album.
Yeah.
And then there's like some artists that like solely stick to one theme. And it's like, I guess like one perfect example, since we've both been listening to it, is like the new Billie Eilish album.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Billie Eilish has a theme and she sticks to it.
Her best album.
Across all of her albums. And it just like, that's kind of like my take, or I guess kind of like going along with what you were saying, is like Post Malone is sort of like, he has a theme going where it's like more pop, hip hop, whatever you call it.
Yeah, like the vibes. His music, the category I would throw it into is like the music that you can get high to. Like, if I'm getting high, I'm listening to Post.
I don't know. I don't.
Like, it's just like the vibes. Like, he's just got the vibes, you know what I mean? It's chill. He just kind of like gets jiggy with it. I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe that's a hot take, but I know what I'd be listening to when I'm cooked, okay?
I don't think that's a hot take. I don't get cooked, so I genuinely don't even know what music I would listen to if I was high.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, Tortured Poets is going in E tier, then.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
right, you were talking about your encounter with the Swiftie.
Yes, I got blocked. Like, if she ever finds this, if she ever finds this podcast, sorry. Like, I don't know what you want.
What caused her to block you? Just your opinion?
I gave her my honest opinion on it. I was like, I'm disappointed with this album.
Was this someone that you've known for a while, like in your life, or
No,
like
no,
somebody on the internet?
It's kind of like an acquaintance, like a distant friend, I would guess, kind of like acquaintance. And she was like, she lived in like Boulder. Well, I guess like, oh, I live in Colorado. Yeah. But she lived in Boulder and I lived nearby. Or I had just moved nearby, and I was like, oh, like I might as well talk to her. Why not? She has cool taste in music, and she is a big Swiftie. And I gave her my opinion on the album, and I was like, this is like disappointing. I was expecting this and that. Like, I wanted something different, and I was just like being honest. Like, it's just being honest with my opinion.
You can't do that with Swifties. That's a big no-no.
Like, that was my bad. My bad game.
Yeah, you're bad.
Yeah, my
You
bad.
need to step the fuck back, James.
Yeah, and so, like, I just ended up, like, telling her my opinion, and then I think, like, one thing that I remember, she said was, like, it's like, you just, like, don't get it, like this album
You don't
is
get it,
for-
James.
This album
You don't
is
get it,
for-
James.
This album is for like all the heartbroken girls who deal with trauma.
She already has. That's all of her music. Like,
Yeah, and I'm like, this bitch does not write an album without having a breakup.
literally. Like
Like-
that. I don't know, bro. Like, that's her. And that's why people like her. Like, she's relatable in that aspect. She's always been that way. All of her music that she's made has been like I'm been broken up with. I'm emo as fuck. Like, I'm depressed. Like, fuck you, man. And then, like, you know, turns it around with like, I'm okay without you, like, type deal. You know what I mean? Like, the whole like
Yeah.
breakup, heartbroken. Like, that's her brand. So you can't just say like this album is made for that. Like, no, that's all of her music. It's all the same. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like this is probably what like did the nail in the coffin. But like she had told me that, and she's like you just don't understand. Like, she made it for all of like the heartbroken girls who have trauma from like past relationships. And I'm like, you know, like I can understand that. Like, I can understand that, and I'm sorry for any trauma that you've been through. But like, this is just like my take on it, and it's like this was something that she talked about in her last album already.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need now a collective of 3 hours to just bitch and vent about past relationships. And it's
Yeah.
like, I was hoping for more of an upbeaty kind of album, which I guess the name didn't really do it justice. But like, I remember listening to Tortured Poets and hearing like one of the songs, and it like started picking up the beat, and like it was like starting to sound like super upbeat, and I was like actually excited, and then it just like went to shit. It was just like her vocals came in, and then it just like slowed down, and I was like, okay.
Rip. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. So yeah, I practically just ended up getting blocked by the Swiftie because I gave her my opinion of the new album. Which,
How dare you?
If you ever see this,
Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
if you ever see this, Godspeed, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Godspeed for you. Wish you the best
Wish
in
you
your
the best.
tortured poet life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
If
that
you are
shit's
Taylor
hilarious.
Swift, then I'm Ryan Gosling, you know.
That's hilarious. So we can come around to the end here a little bit, but I have something that I saw online a couple weeks ago. I don't think I talked about it in our Discord, but I figured I would have a little talk about it because it was actually the most insane thing that I've ever heard in my entire life, and the fact that this was on the internet was crazy. So I don't know if it was like on an Am I the Asshole subreddit or like some form of something like that, like r/relationships or whatever, but I saw it on, I think it was a YouTube short or Instagram reel or something like that. But it's this woman and her husband, and they've just had their second born child. Like, literally, she's still in the hospital, talking about this, like, writing about it, whatever. And so it starts off and, like, they're actually, like, having a text message conversation. Like, the husband has left the hospital room. I don't know if he, like, left the whole hospital, but he left the room because he had gone in and saw her, like, working with the nurse or whatever to get the son breastfeeding, right? Well, he's, like, texting his wife or whatever, and she's like, what's wrong? Like, are you mad at me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what's happening? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't do this. Like, we're done. Whatever. And it just starts off like that, right? Like, there's no context or whatever. And she's like, what is this about? Like, what's wrong? Like, why did you leave? Blah, blah, blah. Like, can you come back? Like, can we talk about it or whatever? And he's like, something along the lines of, like, we talked about this, like, I can't believe you would lie to me and, like, go behind my back and backstab me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, is this about the breastfeeding? Like, yeah, this is where this is going. And yeah, like, completely insane. And he's like, yeah, like, we talked about it, like, I'm not okay with you doing that ever, like, it's so wrong type deal. And she's like just trying to defend herself. She's like, I was just doing it because, like, he's a newborn, blah blah blah, like, and he came a little early, so, like, I wanted to give him the best shot that he could get, blah blah, like, with a nurse. And he's like, he's not even a preemie, like, I can't believe you've done this, like, you've gone behind my back, like, betrayed me, the whole 9 yards. And they kept texting about it, and, like, at the end, she was asking him, like, what is so wrong about it, like, and all that, and he's like, I can't look at you the same way anymore, like, I can't believe you have allowed another man to touch your boobs and everything like that. And it was that whole thing, like, I can't look at you the same. Like, and he also said, like, I enjoyed your boobs, and now, like, I don't enjoy your boobs anymore. It's like, first of all, bro, those aren't even made for you. Like, what? Those aren't yours. You don't own them. Like, first of all. Second of all, like, we live on planet Earth. I'm sorry, but, like, boobs are made to give sustenance to young a life. They are not there for they are not there for attractiveness. Like, they are not vestigial, which means that they're there just for show, or they have had a past purpose and are there for show now. Like, they don't serve the same purpose. Like, it's not, no. They're there to feed children. So sorry that you're not a child and you don't get to be a part of that. But newsflash, like, they're not made for you. My mouth was on the floor agape when I fucking saw this video online. I'm like, there's no way that this is real. This is completely made up. Like, I still don't believe it to this day. Like, there's no way that someone on this planet exists that has that mindset about women's boobs. Like,
that's crazy. I couldn't imagine what, like, being in that hospital or just, like, being a nurse.
She's literally still there. She just gave birth to their son. Literally, she just created life. And he left because he walked in and she was breastfeeding their newborn son. Can you fucking imagine? I would be like, crazy. You're done. So sorry, you're done.
See, I thought this was gonna go somewhere completely else, and I was like, I was genuinely shocked that the dude just, like, said that he couldn't do this anymore. Like, I couldn't imagine just, like, being a mother and, like, having a newborn. And
in general.
Just, like, in general, and then receiving a text saying I can't do this.
A text message. Can we talk about that?
As I'm holding my child. I'm like, that is probably gotta be the most gut-wrenching.
This was a conversation over text.
But just keep arguing, and then finding out that the reason he's leaving is because literally, because my son was breastfeeding.
Another man touched her boobs.
Oh my god.
Absolutely not. Like, no other man should be touching your boobs. Like, okay. Definitely, like, not if you were to, like, go be with some other man. Like, they were still mine, right? Like, no, I'm God. Sorry. That's just simply not how, like, existing on planet Earth works.
When were you gonna tell me that your doctor touched your boobs?
Right?
I was getting a breast cancer checkup.
Yeah, like, when were you gonna tell me that, like, yeah, your doctor fondled your boobs to find lumps? Like, no, we're done.
we're done.
Oh my god. Yeah, that shit pissed
Yeah.
me off, and it also made me laugh because it's like so insane, like it's funny.
If that's real,
There's
oh,
no way
man,
it's real. I simply cannot fathom the fact that that would even be real.
Man, but if it is, Jesus,
That man needs to
that
be in
kid
jail.
That kid has a son, and that son has that dad's genes.
No. Yeah. No. He
Brutal.
yeah. He needs to be in a mental asylum. Like, I'm so sorry. There is something wrong. Like, there's no way. I can't believe that even anyone like would have any form of opinion like that in their brain. Like, no. So sorry. That's just simply not how it works. Like, we are animals. We're mammals, and you know, like, it's not created for like attractiveness. Like, there are animals in the world that do have those types of attributes, like peacocks, or you know, like it's like it's natural selection, like, or not natural selection, it's like survival of the fittest or whatever. Like, the female is gonna pick the one that looks the best and is the strongest, blah blah blah. But you know what's funny is that it's mostly females that do the picking and not the males. So boom, burn.
Yes.
Burn. Mic drop.
Which is kind of like, I just like, it just had a thought that it's kind of odd that it's like like not an exact parallel to like what humans do, because it's like in nature it's like women picking the males for like strength reasons, and then like I just don't think it necessarily correlates exactly to humans, because it's like there's so many variables that go into it, especially now.
We made it so complicated. When did that happen? Like, why did we have to make it so complicated at whatever point in life? Like, we couldn't have just like been monkey about it forever. Like, I don't know.
Brain.
Like, it's so complicated now. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so that was my story, my crazy story.
Thank you for your crazy story. That was indeed crazy. However, I think that I hope that this is not real, and I hope that this man does not exist. And if he does, then I hope that he never finds anybody else.
I hope that you rot in a tomb. That's my take on it, but I'm a woman, so I'm gonna have stronger feelings about that. But yeah, you don't deserve to exist in society, my good sir. I'm so sorry to inform you.
To reproduce at all.
Anyway, well, I think that's about time for us there, Mr. Yams.
It is. I just out of curiosity, how long?
We've been recording for an hour and 19.
Hour 19, not too bad.
And we had a little bit of filler in there, so
Yeah,
I would say that's
okay.
pretty solid.
That is a pretty
solid.
one.
Solid first episode. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this a thing, and we're gonna do this.
We'll try and keep these episodes going as best as we can. I assume that we're probably uploading these to YouTube. So
Yeah, YouTube and whatever audio we can get it on, I would say as well.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out. And I would also say that probably just on a weekly basis, just based on our schedules. We both have 9 to 5s, unfortunately. So we can only get together once a week for this. So I feel like a weekly video is good, is sustainable.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, make sure you guys also check out Savi on Twitch.
Yep.
As she is a streamer and is pretty online there.
This is not a shameless self-plug because I've been plugged by someone else, but...
Yes, this is not part of the script.
You were not held at gunpoint.
Nope. But yeah, make sure you check out Savi at her Twitch. I don't have anything right now. But I am planning on making my running story docu-series, so...
Yeah, you do a lot of running with your legs.
I do. We can get.
You
There's
could
a
go
lot
so
to
far
learn.
into that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn about us. But yeah, if you made it to the end of the episode, thank you for your time, and hopefully we get to do more of these.
Thanks for coming and listening to our yapping.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ow.